Sweden has won and handed New Zealand and Sean Becker a 6th straight loss. Sweden and Per Carlson now 2-4.
Jeff actually wanted to roll in so that this stone now being thrown by Tim Somerville had made a nose hit. Jeff could have nose hit it back and had shot rock. So we'll see where this rolls to.
Gotta get that quick. Gotta get that hole.
Now worked out very well for Canada with that roll out.
As it rolls out.
No, I think nose is probably pretty good.
Yeah, let's play for the nose. Just sort of firm?
Well, give me less, I'll throw peel. Less. I think we stick, eh?
Sure, whatever you want.
I think we may as well stick. You can only get one guard up then.
Now this is really interesting too.
Good point.
This is a 4-rock free guard zone rule, and the advantage does sway a little bit to the team throwing first because they can get 2 guards up. All the opponent can try and do is tick them. They can't peel them. So Jeff says he wants to throw first and only give the U.S. the 1 freebie, the 1 guard. It's later in the game that this strategy really starts to come into play. You see teams not blanking for a lot of reasons.
With the 3-up lead, it makes a lot of sense right here. I agree with this.
Curl up. Good.
Point just came up for him at the end. He sits right there to take his 1. And I'm sure there are people in this building who are scratching their head and wondering, why would you do that? Why not blank? But there is method to it all. And he now leads by 3.
The 1999 Ford World Curling Championships from St. John, New Brunswick are brought to you in part by Nova Scotia, Canada's seacoast.
So here's what we know so far. Finland is a winner over Scotland, handing Hemi McMillan a 3rd loss. Sweden, after losing 4 in a row, have won 2 straight now, and New Zealand has lost 6 straight. Norway, the blank in 9 means that Norway has the hammer, coming home and leading Germany, one of the leaders in that battle of teams at 3 and 2. And the team at 4 and 1, Denmark, is trailing by 2 to Switzerland. The Swiss get a steal of 1 and 9, but the Danes do have the hammer. And in this game, it's Canada looking to win their 6th in a row. 3. That broke it open. And then they take 1 and 9 to lead by 3. The Americans will have the hammer coming home. Now explain again why they do that, please.
It's interesting because we often say that people will take a point instead of blanking so that coming home they can get up 2 guards and try to steal. This is the opposite theory, where the team that's ahead, instead of blanking, took the point because they can throw their 2 through, and the opponent with the hammer only gets 1 guard that cannot be peeled. And so it's a different theory than we usually talk about. We usually say it's the team behind thinking through this theory. In this case, it's the team ahead because of the 4-rock free guard zone rule.
Because of the 4-rock.
So it's a 4-rock rule, international rule, as compared to the Canadian rule.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the fact that you're 3 out has a major bearing on it too. Putting yourself 3 out.
Good.
What?
Very nice.
And so there's the peel now, and it's...
There's the 1 guard to play with, and as Ray says, if you have 1 guard, often you can get 2, but it's very tough to get 3. There are those great numbers for Miles, 86% tonight.
He's played very, very well.
Came into the game at 77. And that's a very good game.
For the front rock here.
Gary Vandenberg.
Good. Got it.
Nice, Gary.
Now, by our calculation, a win by Canada would guarantee them at least a tiebreaker. Is that what we figured out? If not a playoff spot, at least a tiebreaker.
Depending on what happens out there, I think it puts them in a... Depends on what happens in the other 2 games, I guess. But
Well, there's still quite a group at 3 losses. And,
But the worst they could do would be 6-3.
that's right. So we're not going to go there yet, though, I don't think. It is only Tuesday, isn't it? It's tough enough usually on the last day of round robin.
I have no idea what day it
I
is.
know, isn't that funny? I'm kind of lost myself.
I know it's Tuesday.
And that's because,
I have the morning off.
there you go.
And you always do your laundry Wednesday morning.
That's right.
Ironing on Thursday, laundry on Wednesday.
Tough to do the laundry of dirty clothes.
Clean.
Hard.
Jonathan Meade.
Right up. Right up.
Very nice. Just terrific. It's interesting to watch the Americans, Donnie Barcombe. They respect some terrific shooting, and in that last end when they were spinning rocks in, making doubles and picking them off, Barcombe just smiles and turns around and says, "Man, that's something to watch." It's really great, and it's that same kind of thing we see at the Labatt Brier, the Scott Tournament of Hearts, the respect and the compliments. You're getting your behind kicked, but you're still respectful of it.
When you go back to that 7th end, you showed us a scoreboard, Vic, and that 3 jumped out at us, and it was just the kind of end you can't believe when it goes against you, because it was a freeze. Didn't look that bad. There was still the 2 U.S. stones in the rings, and all of a sudden, bam, and they're gone.
Peel.
I was hoping we could play bumper.
After Jonathan threw that last one going the other way where he sprung the 2 rocks out, he said, "That's the hardest my little body can throw."
Finish it, boys. Let's go.
On its own now. Not a brush to it. Will it stop in time? No, off the back. And all Somerville can do is look down and know he's been let down a little bit by some draw weight, and that's all.
Thank you.
Canada has gone to 6-0.
Hi, Riley.
Think the final. Canada 7, the U.S.
Hi, Riley and Cole. Susan.
4.
Miss you guys. See you tomorrow, Susan. All right.
As the U.S. now drops to 3-3.
Gary had a boy. Big instant.
The 1999 Ford World Curling Championships from St. John, New Brunswick are brought to you by the Ford Motor Company of Canada Limited, Karcher Quality Cleaning Equipment, Labatt Good Things Brewing, and JVC Technically Perfect, Perfectly Simple.
Just a reminder, the NBA on TSN comes your way in just a little over half an hour from now. The Jazz and Lakers at 10:30 Eastern Time. The NBA on TSN. 3 of the 5 games are complete, including Canada's 7-4 win over the U.S. to run Jeff Stoughton's record, and the team from Winnipeg 6 straight. And now we turn our attention to Switzerland and Denmark. Denmark in second place, coming in at 4-1. That's the team of Ulrich Schmidt against Switzerland, the gold medal winner from Nagano, Patrick Hurleman, the Swiss leading 5-3 here in the 10th. And Denmark has the hammer coming home. And that's to lie 2. So it's set up, Linda, pardon me, for an extra.
Yep.
Oh, an extra.
The one yellow one behind the yellow guard has been there for a while. There were 2 Swiss stones that Denmark was drawing down to, and you can see they're now gone. And Denmark was looking to set up something for the possible 3, but at this point, they'll try for their 2.
Patrick Hurleman, who has won a silver and bronze in world play.
So the Swiss stone is shot rock. That means Denmark has to go after it.
Ulrich Schmidt. Just one previous Brier appearance. That was '97 in Bern, Switzerland, when he finished 5-4. People were very impressed with his performance then. In fact, he beat Kevin Martin in round robin play. So they'll go to an extra, tied 5-5, and Switzerland will have the hammer. The Swiss with a record of 2-3. So while they take their break and they get ready to start the extra, we'll turn our attention to the other game still on the ice. It's Germany-Norway as they play in 10, and Norway leading 5-3. Paul Trulsen ahead of Germany and Andy Kapp.
And this can end it because Germany has 2 in the house, but this one is wide open.
Trulsen not even needing to hold the shooter. Germany scores 1. It's not enough. It goes into the books as a 5-4. Norway wins, so the Norwegians and Paul Trulsen from Oslo go to 4-2, and Germany fall to 3-3. Quick break. Switzerland, Denmark, an extra. It's coming up. Five sheets to start the evening. 4 are complete. 1 goes to an extra end, and it's the game between Switzerland and Denmark, tied 5-5, and the team from the Olympic Curling Club in Lausanne, Switzerland, with the hammer.
And when we were talking about the Canadian game and the strategy of using the 4 rock free guard zone rule, well, extra ends can be tough for the team with last rock because those 2 front rocks can go up. And it looks like Patrick Hurleman's approach, Ray, is not to try the tick, but to just play the come around.
So with the win by Canada, they are still the only undefeated team, 6-0. And depending on what happens here, Denmark could fall back to join Norway or stay within a game of the Canadians. Germany, Scotland right now at 3-3. Switzerland could join them and the United States and make it a 4-way tie, and New Zealand still looking for their first win.
Is he playing another front rock or?
They had a long look at it. It looks to me like that's what they're calling. We haven't had a look at this sheet of ice, but that doesn't look like enough ice to do much else.
How do you like that number?
98% is very good.
Should tell everybody right, that this coach is, this Danish team is coached by Bill Carey out of Winnipeg.
Normaal da. Is daar een übercurler weg.
Brother of Dan Carey, of course. Remember well with Vic Peters.
And we're just joining this game, but by those numbers, it looks like it's been a well-curled affair. And this is an interesting approach, not attempting to move those front stones out, just to come to the face of the one they put in a moment ago.
Well, Ulrich Schmidt is going to have his chances, though. He's got the rocks up in front, so he's going to have some chances. That's all he can ask. You can certainly draw there. You could also exchange the situation, hit the two rocks on just on the nose quietly, sit right in front of it.
Yeah, just tap back the one that's about T-line, belonging to Switzerland.
I think that's what maybe this early in the end, that's what I would have done, is just play the out-turn tap back on those two red ones and sit right in front of it.
Yep.
Brian Hansen.
Go. Heel in. En in. Yep. Yeah, come on. Binnen. Kom maar zo. Gunder. Vorne beide.
Going to try to move off both guards, was the initial indication.
Patrick Herdeman's only other extra end was in 1996, lost to Scotland's Warwick Smith 5-4 in the semi-final. And Schmidt's only extra end this year was a win over Sweden's Per Karlsson.
I think Ulrich, if I can remember, Ulrich had last rock and drew to the button.
Right to the full to the button.
He's going to have to steal this one if he wants to. There's the double peel. Very nice. Almost made contact with the one in the house.
Very nice shot indeed.
By Martin Romang, the native of Stad.
Beautiful shot.
Where the rich and famous go to play.
Well, I've been there. I don't fall into that category, but I've been there a couple of times.
I remember that was Elizabeth Taylor's favorite place, was Stad.
Hurry! Come on! Come on! Whoa! Wow. Kom in! Wow. Stop in. Gå in där. Så. Tack på. Så till länge.
I don't recall running into Elizabeth in Stad, but
Weren't rubbing shoulders with the same crowd, perhaps?
She may have lost my number.
Yep.
The women will play 2 draws on Wednesday, and right now it's the U.S. and Sweden tied for first, Denmark alone in second. Canada has lost 3 of their last 4 games to fall into a 3-3 tie with 3 other teams. Scotland and Debbie Knox still looking for their first win. Lyndon Ray will be with you on Wednesday morning at 9 Atlantic, 8 a.m. Eastern with Canada. Colleen Jones going against Patty Lank and the Americans from Madison, Wisconsin.
Denmark continuing to look for the guard.
Dominic Andres.
Staying again.
His wife, Helena Black Laverson. Danish champion.
On her win at the Olympics, earning a silver medal. Did a lot for curling in
Sure did,
Denmark.
yeah.
Come on! Come on! Come on! Believe it! Believe it! Believe it!
I didn't know that myself.
Stop it at the feet, mate.
Ja.
Tack för mig här.
Okay.
Ja!
That's an amazing shot. That was not the call.
Nothing could have worked out much better.
You touched and removed virtually every stone. Left just the one. Yes, it is a Denmark stone, but it's in the side of the 12-foot. And this is actually quick thinking by Patrick Hurleman. He sees that it's just going to be a tick, but look at the action. That is unbelievable.
Switzerland with last rock in this extra end, so the 8-foot, 4-foot button wide open. After that,
Skip stones here in this extra. Switzerland with the hammer. Trying to improve their record to 3-3 and hand Denmark their second loss and drop them 2 full games back of Canada.
So all you can do is put up another center line guard, and now if you're Denmark, you need a miss. A miss or a nose hit. Malrot cannot expect Patrick Hurleman to miss a draw to the 8-foot. He needs a guard in a better position than that.
Right out of his hand, they jump it. Called on by Andres. Romang and Perrin looking for the peel.
They were trying to get the one out of the house as well. Not quite. So where do you put it? This is the age-old dilemma. There's so many theories. Which shot do you want your opponent to play? Do you want them to draw, or do you want them to hit?
well, I think in this situation you got to make them. You got to try to make them draw if you can. I don't know. That's what I'd be trying to do, make them draw.
Would you use your own stone over a 12-foot in the tee line area for anything? Could you use it? Could you use it for some backing? Nothing at all. But it's not guys close them down too. You don't want them to have everything to draw to.
And Linda's right. It's what you feel. I mean, you have to have a flow for the game too, you know, to be able to decide what.
But Vic, you're right. The fact that that other one's over there, if Denmark draws in, Switzerland can't roll out and go to the 12th end. Because the Yellowstone over there would win.
Good.
Conti. Så lang ud, Carsten. Så lang ud stadigvæk. Først han står stille. Nej. Slet ikke. Slet ikke, Carsten. Okay, Ulrik. Godt med det.
Hit and stick. Patrick's had a few of these in his days.
Hey, kom, hack, wait. Hack.
Now, we haven't seen this sheet, but I would assume that Ulrich has put that rock in a spot that might be a little bit tricky. From the amount of ice he took to draw it there, it appears to be a straight spot compared to the sheets we were watching earlier. He's playing it very quietly.
Hurry! Hey! Blue man, easy. Whoa, blue man.
For the win. Switzerland will take it in an extra. 6-5 the final.
China, hello.
And so Switzerland's record is now 3-3. Denmark at 4-2 in the Canadians.
Islander. The treats. Hi, Rosie.
Are
Hello.
2 games clear. The 6th draw of men's play is complete here at Harbor Station. And the Ford Worlds on TSN. Welcome back to Harbor Station. And it's been quite the year, hasn't it, for all of us at TSN? The season that started, oh boy, 5.5, 6 months ago. And brings us now to springtime. And it began at the Husky Curling Classic. And it was the start of a wonderful season on the cash trail for Russ Howard and his team.
Clean. Great shot.
Yeah, we saw lots of great shots from Russ Howard as he picked up the big money there. While Sherry Anderson was the ladies' big money winner out of Saskatchewan. To Red Deer and the Centrium and the Skyreach Classic. And guess who was there again? You bet. Russ Howard on his way to a Bonspiel season that would see him win in the neighborhood of $120,000. He just couldn't be beaten. And there were those great shots again. And in women's play, the winner in Red Deer was Calgary's Cheryl Coleman. Our next stop before Christmas was St. John's, Newfoundland, and the 10th anniversary of the McCain TSN Skins game. What a final it was. Wayne Madaw
One more
against
under the tree, I guess.
Kevin Martin, and they played for the big money. There was Madaw. And then there was Martin for the win. $18,400 is on the line. The angled Raise, take out, Ramcharan, Bartlett, there it is. Did it go? Did it? Yes, it did. There it is. Kevin Martin has defended his skins championship here in $50,400. And then to Thunder Bay, the JVC TS and women's skins game. Sandra Schmerler, Shannon Clybrink from Calgary. And it came down to a draw. And it was Marcy Gooderwright. They figured she had the best of draw weights. Back 8. And now Shannon Clybrink in front of, again, a sold-out crowd in Thunder Bay. They love their curling there. Far enough? No. And Marcy Gooderwright, the lead, won it for the team. And $46,500 too. After Christmas, our season of champions began in Victoria with the Canadian mixed. Paul Fleming and his team from the Mayflower Club in Halifax. As well as Tom Federley, Colleen Jones, and Monica Moriarty. They were the Canadian mixed champions. To Saskatoon and the CIBC seniors. That was our next stop. Familiar face out of Quebec. Yes, it was the second CIBC Senior Women's Championship in 3 years for Agnes Charette of Quebec.
5 minutes before we were about to go to air at 6:30 local time, the power went out here at the Natana and in about a 3-block radius of the club, but they worked hard to get it going. Thank you very much.
Come on. Okay. Get the guys.
And when it was over, it was Ken Watson of BC when they turned on the lights. To Charlottetown and the Scott Tournament of Hearts, and what a performance by Colleen Jones. No one could touch her. She was the best all week to claim her second Canadian championship. Colleen Jones, who earlier won the Canadian mixed with Paul Fleming, was on a roll. Gotta sit right there. Don't roll. Colleen Jones, Canadian champion again in Charlottetown. Edmonton and the Labatt Brier in front of a record-setting crowd. Nearly 250,000 the entire week. And it was another Canadian championship for Jeff Stoughton and a second consecutive loss for Guy Hemmings from Quebec. The Labatt Brier, the Canadian Men's Curling Championship. To Jeff Stoughton and the team from the Charleswood and Winnipeg as Gary meets up with Lena. And just over a week ago in Östersund, Sweden, the Star Choice World Juniors. John Morris, the defending junior men's champion. And it was a second straight championship for Morris. His team from the Ottawa Curling Club. Marie-France Larouche from Quebec, the first ever Quebec team to represent Canada at the World Juniors. She picked up the bronze medal. Morris, a 2-time winner, and now he'll turn his attention to men's play. And what a player he is. That's that's been our season so far, and it all comes to an end here in St. John and the Ford Worlds. So through 6 draws of men's play here at these Ford Worlds at Harbor Station, Jeff Stoughton hasn't been caught yet. He's undefeated, 6-0. Denmark, Norway at 4-2. And then teams Germany, Scotland, as well as now Switzerland has joined them, and the United States at 3-3. New Zealand still looking for their first win at 0-6. Just a reminder, the women will be on the ice on Wednesday twice. And Colleen Jones, who's lost 3 of her last 4, will play the U.S. and Patty Lang, tied for first place at 5-1 with Sweden. The Canadians sitting in a bunch at 3-3. And you must think right now it is a must-win for Jones and Canada. It's been quite the night, quite the day. Now on behalf of Linda, Ray, and our entire crew, I'm Vic Crowder. Thanks for joining us. This has been a presentation of TSN, Canada's most watched sports network. Stay with us now. The NBA on TSN is coming up.